Welcome back to the Sphinx's Tales YouTube channel. This video is going to be a more serious video due to the content of it. So, the Israel-Palestinian conflict has basically been going on since after October 7th when Hamas has launched its attack on Israel. And it was very bloody, and initially the international community supported. And I didn't pay attention to it. Because to me, at the time, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict was basically just a giant mess of not knowing who's right or who's wrong. I also live with a family who's pro-Israel, so I'm probably going to get flack on this video. Um, Now, as to what I think about Israel-Palestine itself, I would say that since 1997, Israel has definitely taken the turn for the worst after the Likud party took power in the Knesset and just basically started a whole avalanche of illegal actions. Now, in the 2023 case, though, with this conflict, they are definitely in the wrong here. We've all seen the videos that have been circulating about their war crimes and stuff like that. And we've all heard the stories about them bombing hospitals and bulldozing homes and whatnot. And they say that Hamas is embedded in the civilian infrastructure, but clearly the amount of deaths and deliberate destruction of various buildings, even though there's like little evidence to suggest that Hamas is actually using them, is just clearly, obviously, just not good. So, but for a bigger thing though, there have been accusations of genocide lobbied at Israel, and back in January 26th, the International Court of Justice have ruled that there is a probable cause of the Israelis committing genocide. Now, the thing is, though, is that the ICJ can only rule on probable cause, whether or not it is probable that Israel is committing genocide, but they haven't they can't state that Israel is in fact committing genocide. That's for the International Criminal Court to figure out. And the ICC convicts that of individuals. Now, of course, the thing is, though, is that, as a matter of fact, a shit ton of civilians can be killed and a lot of war crimes can be committed, but it could still not technically be considered genocide. This is because of the fact that intent needs to be established. So, but the only case that I think could apply as genocide would be the general's plan. Which, what is the general's plan? Basically, it was a plan proposed by former military generals to Netanyahu, and while former Israeli officials have denied that the plan is being taken place. Since October, the beginning of October, it's clear that they are launching a siege against the people of Gaza. And there are many people on the ground that claim that the plan is being carried out. Including numerous anonymous officials that say that it's being carried out, in at least parts of it, anyways, as told to the Associated Press. Now, keep in mind that we didn't really know the full extent of the Holocaust until after it was finished, even though newspapers at the time were more or less reporting on it, and I can imagine this would be the case here, if it was actually a genocide. But it doesn't matter, quite frankly, because the U.S. has already lost credibility due to Biden's continuing support of Israel. And I honestly think that Netanyahu has dirt on President Biden, and that's what made him support Israel, despite like it clearly being against U.S. international interests to do so, because the U.S. power structure is built upon its perception of its legitimacy, which is based upon international law, which Israel is clearly violating in a lot of instances. But as for whether or not the situation will be fixed, I don't think the situation will be fixed, or at least it will come to an end, but not without the complete destruction of America's credibility, which it already is in a way. So, but for Netanyahu, basically, like, even his own military commanders are, like, tired of everything, and they basically want a ceasefire, and they want him to negotiate with the Hamas in order for that to occur. So far, Egypt has been doing proposals, but as of now, though, there haven't been, like, people that have accepted the plan, basically. So they're going to continue to do it, and Netanyahu seems to be a bit delusional because he believes that his maximalist idea of, we're going to finally get rid of Hamas, which is like just like a weird ethnic cleansing genocide solution type sounding thing. Which, the thing is, though, is that considering a lot of times Palestinians are prevented from returning to their homes, it might definitely constitute ethnic cleansing, this general's plan. But the good thing is that once the presidency is solved and we have either Kamala or Trump voted into office, they're both going to be opposed to Israel's policy. So that's good. At the very least, it'll come to an end, but the United States' reputation, in my opinion, is kaput, and probably already has been for quite some time now. So why am I making this video? A lot of you would think, like, oh, this is old news. Well, why are you making this video? Who cares? It's obvious to everyone. Well, no, not really. It's not obvious, especially considering that genocide is a specific definition, but the war crime aspect is definitely true. So that, like, even if you can wave away a good portion of the videos and explain it in court as something else that's legal, there's a shit ton of other evidence that they have that they can just bury them under. So Israel is going to have to take some L's on this one when they come to negotiate inevitably with Hamas, because they've already been tarnished. Like in the past conflicts, like during the 1967 conflict, and I guess subsequent conflicts, like both sides, the Arabs and the Israelis, had to consider international opinion before they would take action. And this case is no different. But so far, like, Netanyahu has already basically, like, destroyed Israeli credibility, even without actually committing genocide. He's already destroyed it, and they're going to have to, like, negotiate really hard on the next round that they go with Hamas and negotiate. But I don't know if Israel is going to have the stones to go to war with Lebanon or Iran, specifically because I don't think that Israel is going to be ready if an actual army comes to invade their country. I don't think they're really built for that anymore, but who knows? I mean, they did really well in the 1967 war, but it's been a long time since then. And I'm basically making this video as a way of my formal statement that I'm just, as of now, totally against Israel, what they're doing. Even though I do support their right to exist and think that the Jews do need a state to live in. Anyways, that's my opinion. You can disregard it. I don't care. But I had to make a statement on it. Thank you for watching.